Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Thursday, October the 13th. Big news at the Arkansas Supreme Court today. They decided a batch of cases pertaining to challenges to proposed constitutional amendments for the Arkansas ballot November the 8th. First of all, they said an amendment to allow 3 more casinos in Arkansas couldn't qualify for the ballot. They erred in including sports gaming in the amendment, which is not legal in federal law. That contradiction is enough, since it wasn't mentioned in the ballot title, to get that struck down. There'll be no casino vote this year. Another big one was the Supreme Court said that the tort reform amendment, the amendment to limit damages on medical lawsuits, including particularly against nursing homes, failed on one particular ground. Although they'd raised 10 different ones, they said they hadn't adequately identified some of the terms used in the ballot title, non-economic damages in a lawsuit, for example. Interestingly, Rhonda Wood, a justice on the Supreme Court who's won her seat there with tremendous amount of money support from the nursing home industry, wanted the Supreme Court to break from practice and give some advisory opinions on other issues that had been challenged in the amendment. She figures, probably correctly, that they'll be back and they could be useful to have some helpful guidance on what would and would not be legal in the eyes of the Supreme Court. The rest of the Supreme Court didn't go along with that idea. And finally, the amendment to allow medical marijuana was upheld for the ballot. They said the ballot title was sufficient, so there will be a vote at least on a medical marijuana amendment. The Supreme Court is still waiting to consider a challenge of the petitions for a medical marijuana initiated act. So we may have 2 medical marijuana proposals on the ballot. We won't know the final outcome on that for about, probably 1 more week. Interesting action in Arkansas as news grows of still more women who say Donald Trump has made inappropriate sexual advances toward them. Groping them is probably a better way to put it. Politicians in Arkansas have learned to dance what I call the Hillary pivot. In debates yesterday, U.S. Senator John Bozeman and U.S. Representative French Hill both took questions from Donald Trump, very quickly said that tape recordings of what he'd said about women were not good things, but they wanted to talk about Hillary Clinton and all the bad that she has to defend. It's kind of a neat pivot. It allows them to avoid answering questions about Donald Trump's seeming admission that he thinks it's okay to assault women, which in most circles is considered a crime. Governor Asa Hutchinson had a news conference today and was asked repeatedly about Trump. He danced the Hillary pivot as well. Finally turned not to emails or Benghazi, as some others have done in the pivot, but brought up Juanita Broderick, a woman from Arkansas who's alleged Bill Clinton has raped her. I'd remind the governor Bill Clinton is not running for president of the United States. Donald Trump is and Hillary Clinton is. The governor had a news conference to announce a trade mission to China. He said he's going to continue to work to build his relationship with a Chinese communist billionaire that the state has given tens of millions of dollars to come build a pulp mill in Arkansas that's going to produce something we're not sure what to go, we're not sure where, but they're going to take advantage of our cheap timber while they do it. Good news on the Arkansas River this morning. The big mess of steel that was dropped into the river in a fairly botched attempt to demolish the old Broadway Bridge to make way for a new one seems to have gotten cleared from the navigation channel, so the regular demolition will continue there. Going to the state fair this year, it starts tomorrow. Kat Robinson at Tie-Dye Travels has sampled every single new food item at the fair, and if you go to Arkansas Blog, you can find a link to her coverage with pictures and full descriptions. Chocolate-covered corn dog, not for me, I don't think, but maybe for you. I'll try some other things, maybe just some cotton candy, something old-fashioned like that. And finally, a question and answer session to close out our day. Here's your question. How many times can a man turn his head and pretend he just doesn't see? Well, I think you know the answer to that question, the same as it was when it was written 50 years ago. The answer is blowing in the wind, my friends. It's blowing in the wind. This is a tribute. It's been running through my head all day today. Bob Dylan, the bard of my generation, won the Nobel Prize for Literature, and that's some good news. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.
Before she sleeps in the sand, yes, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is a blowing